Everybody thinks it's so exciting to move to Colorado, and it is. But honestly, there's five big lessons that I wish I would have known when I moved here with my fiance from New Mexico. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly what went wrong, what I wish I would have done differently, and exactly how you can avoid making the same mistakes when you plan your move to Colorado in 2025. And I'm going to be sharing some insights along the way of what life looks like now that we're settled and truly loving our life here in Colorado. Oh, and I almost forgot. You're going to want to make sure that you stick around for all of this video because I'm going to be sharing with you a mistake that we made only 2 years into living here that cost us thousands of dollars, so much time, so much stress, so much energy. And I'm going to share with you exactly how you can avoid making that same mistake. By the way, my name is Taylor Ratliff with Keller Williams Preferred Realty. And if you're looking to make a move to Colorado or you just want some advice on how to make it as stress free and as enjoyable of a move as possible, please reach out to me. My phone number, email, and calendar link are all in the description below and also right here. And I would be more than happy to set up a private one on one time to meet with you and connect further on how we're going to get you to Colorado. In this video, we're going to dive into the five biggest lessons that I learned when moving from out of state to Colorado, what it means for you if you're thinking about making a move in 2025, and how to make it 10 times easier, whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just relocating to Colorado for a fresh start. All right, let's get into the video. Okay, so we're going to kick off this video with the first lesson that we learned, and just keep in mind that these lessons are in no specific order. They're all very impactful and all really lessons that I wish I would have known beforehand and that I'm sharing with you so that hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. The number one lesson I would say is that we just were not prepared enough for what the cost of living is in Colorado. We came from a southern state and also the southern part of New Mexico. And so we came from at the time we were renting a home down there, and it was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. We had a pizza oven and a yard and a garage and an area for a shop, pomegranate trees, like all kinds of stuff, a really great rental property. And I think we were only paying $750 a month for that property. And when we moved to Colorado, we were renting an apartment, and it was a 2 bedroom, 2 bath. And immediately overnight, we go from paying $750 a month to paying $2,500 a month alone for just our housing. And that's not to include utilities. So the utilities are also probably 2 to 3 times as much as they were in New Mexico. The food prices are about 2 times as expensive. Eggs here. Gratefully, we are not able to have eggs that are provided from caged birds. So that's great. But our eggs are also a lot higher in Colorado because of that. So you're paying more for groceries, you're paying more for housing, you're paying more for utilities. There's a ton of things to do in Colorado: skiing, snowboarding, events, music, but it all comes with a price tag. And, Colorado truly is a destination state. I can't remember the last time that I was driving and saw the mountains and didn't have my jaw completely on the floor. Like, you are just in awe constantly of what this state gives you, but it does come with a price. And I think sometimes people move here without really embodying what it means to have a different cost of living, and sometimes 2 to 3 times what your cost of living is, especially if you're in the southern states. And I think you can start off on a really, really bad foot and quickly go into a sort of financial crisis if you're not prepared for what the cost of living truly is like. If you move to Colorado from a southern state like we did, you are going to be paying a lot more. And in my opinion, it's worth it. I'm in awe of this state constantly. There's so many opportunities, but we do, kind of joke that overnight our bills tripled, but our pay only doubled. So there's tons of opportunity, and we've been able to turn that around, and things are, we're definitely getting more into the groove. We are into the groove of what the cost of living is in Colorado, but even from somebody that did do research and was looking at the numbers and did sign the lease and did know that we were going to be paying this different amount, it was a lot different to be sitting there and paying the bills of the first month and saying like, whoa, this is a lot different. So just this isn't to frighten you, but this is truly to prepare you, because if you move to Colorado and you are what we call house poor, where most of your bills, most of your income is going towards your home, your quality of life really isn't going to be there, because you're going to have to stay indoors constantly because you can't afford to do anything because all of your money is going to your home. So, really make sure, and we'll go into this in some of these other videos, make sure you break down what the cost of living is for the state, for the city that you're going to live in, for the neighborhood, those houses. What is the housing expenses? What is the food going to cost? And just really make sure that you have a full understanding of what you're getting yourself into, so that this can be an enjoyable experience, and so that you can stay in Colorado and truly enjoy everything that the state has to offer, instead of moving here and kind of not having a realistic idea of what it's going to cost to truly thrive in this state. Something that I do want to mention before we get into the second lesson is that even though the cost of living is a lot more than what we were used to in New Mexico, the opportunities and just what we've been able to take part in and experience and live, it's so worth it. It's 100% worth it. The potential, even of the amount of money that you can make or the job positions that you can attain. Um, I believe that Colorado is very progressive in the way that it is moving. Like, there's always something being built, there's always something being done, there's always some new community or event. And like, Colorado is hustling and bustling, and you have the opportunity to make a lot of money and to really thrive in this state. You just really should know what you're getting into before you make the move. The second lesson that I wish I would have known about and learned from somebody else before we moved here is that you need to do a lot more research than you think you need to. And when we first moved to Colorado, we had moved to the Longmont area, and I love the Longmont area. It's so beautiful. You have like constant, beautiful, breathtaking views of Longs and Meeker Peak. Those are both 14ers in Colorado, and it's just beautiful. But we were not in the right place. And 2 years later, we ended up having to pack up everything and completely relocating. And even though it was only about 35 minutes away, it cost us a lot of money. It cost us movers, it cost us boxes, it cost us taking off from work and taking time to actually move, and just new furniture and just all of the things that come with moving, as I'm sure you're considering right now. And it costs us thousands of dollars to make that mistake. And if we would have done more research, and if we would have, we watched the videos and we read the blogs, but we never got in touch with anyone, and we never got in touch with somebody that actually has boots on the ground of where we're potentially thinking about moving. And the problem was that I was not close enough to my work. I serve the Denver metro area, and I was driving sometimes 1 to 2 hours max in traffic at the end of the day. And I wasn't getting home from a long day of work until like 7 o'clock at night. And sometimes, depending on the month in Colorado, 7 o'clock at night feels like midnight because it's completely black outside. And so that wasn't the right place for me. My office is actually in Westminster, so I was making a commute regardless. And then my fiance, his work, we also moved to be closer to his work. So based on our jobs and what we had to do our commitments. We just needed to relocate. And so now we're living in Westminster and we're a lot more central to all of the places that we need to be. But if I would have done more research, we wouldn't have made that move. We would have started in Westminster and we would have been able to continue building in Westminster and not had a couple thousand. I want to say it was like a $4,000 to $5,000 move to relocate cities. I would have. So just before I go on and on, because this one like gets me ranting, um, do your research, talk to somebody, watch these videos, make sure that when you are choosing the city and you're choosing the neighborhood, that it's going to be the right fit, because if it's not the right fit, eventually you're going to want to move, and that's expensive. So if you're thinking about moving to Colorado and you don't know exactly where you need to be, and there's some specific factors like work or schools, or you need to be by the airport or whatever it is, reach out to me, because I'm super happy to share my experiences and what I've learned, so that you don't have to move to the state of Colorado and then pick up all of your belongings in 2 years and completely relocate to a brand new area where you again know no one. And that's rough. That's hard to do. So make sure you do the research, and if you've done research, continue doing it. Make sure that you feel empowered and confident in making this decision, so that you can save yourself time, stress, and money. A third lesson that I would say sometimes I'm still in the process of learning is that you really want to be prepared for how nuts this weather can be. They say that, Colorado it's got 4 seasons, and that is so true. You do have a true spring, and you have a true summer, a true fall, and a true winter, and they're gorgeous seasons. But what you don't know, and at least what we didn't know before we moved here, is that in any one of those seasons, in a single day, you can experience all 4 seasons. You can wake up and it could be an absolutely miserable day, like snowing, sleeting, hailing, and by 12 o'clock it is sunny, everything is melted, and then by 2 o'clock it could be windy and crazy and hailing again, and by 5 o'clock it is the most beautiful day that you've ever seen. And so the weather is absolutely crazy. It has a mind of its own, and you just really want to be prepared, because this is actually so funny, because this is another pretty expensive mistake that I made. In 2023, I was driving around Colorado Springs and I got a tornado warning. And I'm from southern New Mexico. So, tornado warning, like, what do? The sky is blue. What tornado are we talking about? And within minutes, the sky turns black and I'm caught in the biggest hailstorm I've ever experienced in my life. And my car, brand new car, 6 months, got it for Christmas, ended up having $28,000 in hail damage. And so after 6 months, my car was totaled from a hailstorm. And you really want to be prepared. Like, there's tornadoes in Colorado, and there's crazy snow and crazy wind, and I think a lot of places have extreme weather nowadays, but Colorado is just its own beast, and you want to make sure that you are prepared. If you're going to go out on a hike, make sure that you bring the layers. Make sure that you prepare for a thunderstorm. Make sure that you prepare for snow, because it could happen. And it's also all over the place. Like, we moved here on March 9th of 2021, and we woke up to the largest snowstorm that they had had since 1985. And so we got a very cold welcome from Colorado and got to see what the winters were like immediately. And that was a very harsh winter. I remember several times being, kind of nervous to go out and drive because the roads were so bad. And since then, we've had a really crazy monsoon that year that my car got totaled, but we didn't have a crazy winter. And then this year, we really haven't had a crazy winter either. Like, it's kind of been very light, but we are having snowstorms pretty late into the year. And then now we're seeing a lot of rain, where last year we didn't have a lot of rain. So It's all over the place. You never know what you're going to get. Something that we do here that we never did in New Mexico is ask Alexa every single day what the forecast is, because you really just want to be prepared, whether it's whether you're going to bring an umbrella or the shoes you're wearing or the attire, whatever. You want to be prepared because this weather out of nowhere in the blink of an eye will completely turn on you. So I love this state. I love the weather. I love, that we can have a pretty big snowstorm and then I can still be driving around because the roads melt and whatnot. But it gets a little bit crazy. So while you have beautiful summers and you have a beautiful spring and you have winter that allows you to do all of these amazing winter sports and a beautiful fall, you just want to be prepared because things can go crazy in an instant. I know I said that none of these lessons were like more important than another one, but this lesson is I think it would have helped me a lot if I would have known it when we first moved here. And that lesson is to build your tribe as early as you possibly can. When we moved here for about a year and a half, I was a recluse. I knew the people that I worked with. I knew fellow agents and I knew the clients that I was working with. But outside of that, I had no friends. I had no social life. I didn't do anything. And it's because I didn't know anybody. I was a fresh transplant here from a different state. We didn't move for family. We didn't move for friends. Like, we are brand new people in a brand new area. We know no one. We don't know where anything is. We don't know what to do. Like, we are fresh babies, like fresh baby birds that just flew out of the nest. And it took me close to 2 years to start building my tribe. And for the first year to 2 years, while Bo and I had each other, it was lonely. It was very lonely. And it was the same thing, like kind of over and over again. And I was going on hikes, but they're solo hikes and doing things, but solo because Bo is working a lot. And it's just when you move from somewhere where you have family and you're plugged in and you've got your social circle and your friends, and then you move to an area where you know absolutely no one and you don't make an effort to meet anyone, things kind of get a little bit lonely and a little bit, dare if I say, depressing, honestly, because like life is just not you're not enjoying life with anyone. You're alone. So, with that being said, build your tribe as soon as you can. There are so many community groups, and like we had in New Mexico, there's social groups, Meetup, Eventbrite, Facebook groups. Like, there's so many community groups, and there's a community group for any hobby that you can think of. There's a group of people that are connecting over that shared interest. And my recommendation to you before you even move to Colorado, get on Facebook and join some of these community groups and start talking to people and start getting a vibe and start connecting with people, and hopefully have a few people for you to connect with once you get here. If you are a parent, if you're thinking about moving your family here, it might be a really good idea for you to connect with other families and get real life experiences of what the schools are like. We're going to have other videos where we're going to compare schools, and we're going to be talking to, the mayor and different type of people that you are going to want to learn from and know from and connect with, and they're big staples in our community. But one of the best things that you can do is to plug into the community on your own time before you're even here, because everybody is different and this isn't a one size fits all. And you might just turn yourself off to moving to a certain area based on the conversations and the connecting that you're having. Or you might just, like fully like re-engage and get excited about your move and just like hook, line, and sinker. This is where we're meant to be, because look at all the people that we're connecting with and learning from and excited to meet once we're there. So don't do what we did. Don't be a recluse. Don't hide. There's so many people that are just like you too. There's so many people that have moved to Colorado that are not that are not originally from Colorado that you can connect with. So build your tribe, build your community, make sure that when you're here, you're living a life and thriving instead of relocating and not not having it be what you thought it was going to be. And a big part of that is going to be building your community, making friends, and, you know, making this your home. Part of making somewhere your home is meeting people and having those friendships and getting that stability. So build your tribe. And if you have any questions on how to build your tribe, I'm an open book and I would love to share what's worked for me. We are on our fifth mistake and lesson that I wish I would have known and done differently when we were moving from New Mexico to Colorado, and that is reaching out for help. We I've lived in New Mexico my entire life. Bo had moved to Texas and Oregon and Seattle and a couple of other areas, but I had never moved out of my small little village town in southern New Mexico. And we did this alone. We didn't ask for any help. We didn't have anybody supporting us. We didn't ask any questions from people that have done what we were trying to do. We didn't ask any questions from people who were living where we wanted to live. We didn't ask any questions from people that were doing what we wanted to do. We just didn't reach out. And, it was because I didn't know I could have reached out. I didn't know what I know now. And now that I know this, I would have done it differently. If we ever move out of Colorado, I'll 100% do it differently. But reach out for help. There are resources for you. There are people that want to help you. I want to help you. And if you're thinking about moving to Colorado and things are not stable and you don't know exactly where you want to be and you don't know exactly where you should be, you don't know exactly where you fit in, where the lifestyle that you're looking to achieve is going to align, you don't know what city, what neighborhood, where the best place is if you need to commute to the airport, or where the best place is if you need to be in this school district or this school district. If you have questions, reach out. Make sure that you ask for help, because this is what I do. This is what I love doing. I've been in your shoes. I've been in the thick of oh, we need to move out of a state and we have all of these things that we have to do and we have to figure out where we're going, and it's so overwhelming. And I think sometimes that overwhelm can almost keep you from doing something that could be life-changing. So reach out, ask for help. I'm an open book. I'm here to help you. And if you're looking to relocate to Colorado or any state, reach out to somebody that has done it and who wants to help you. And I assure you, you're going to be happy that you did. Okay, so I've given you 5 big mistakes and lessons and kind of heaviness of, what went wrong and what I wished we would have done differently. But here's the thing. I don't have a single regret from our move. Moving to Colorado has been the biggest game changer in my life and in my fiance's life. And we live in increase. Life has expanded. Things got great. Doors open. Opportunities emerged. I've been able to build an incredible business and meet people and connect and collaborate and learn from people that I never thought would have been possible. I've been able to be in rooms with people that I never thought possible. The scenery of this state constantly leaves my jaw on the ground. I was doing an open house at Legacy Ridge subdivision in Westminster last weekend, and I was speaking to one of the guests about why they moved here from Pennsylvania. And she was saying that every single day that she leaves her house, her jaw's on the ground because she is just in awe at the beauty of the mountains. And it's so true. Every single time I see those Rocky Mountains, I am just jaw on the ground. I get to live here. I get to live here. I'm so grateful I get to live here. Look at what I get to do. Look at what I get to be. I love hiking. I love biking, fishing, the mountains. Living an outdoor life is my jam, and Colorado provides everything that I could have ever wanted, and everything that I didn't even know that I wanted. Colorado provides for me. My professional life, my personal life have just skyrocketed. The life that I lived in New Mexico really was just limited mindset. It was limiting mindset. And New Mexico is so gorgeous, and I might retire there because the land is so beautiful. But I'm so grateful that we moved to Colorado, and I'm so excited to be doing what I do here. And I'm so excited to be helping people do what we did, and do it better and with less stress, and more enjoyable, because once you get here, like, life really starts, and it's just incredible. And every day I'm just so thankful that we decided to make the leap and do it. And I'm here to support you do the same. So if you are thinking about moving to the beautiful state of Colorado and you don't know exactly all of the moving pieces to make a seamless experience and journey to get you here, reach out. I am super happy to help. I want to help. I've been where you are. I've been in the scary thick of it, and now I'm here. I moved here. I'm thriving. I go hiking every weekend. I just love the outdoors. I'm healthy and active, and thriving in business and personal, and it's because of the relocation. This wasn't possible for us in New Mexico, and sometimes making a move is what opens the doors for you. So if you are needing assistance, if you need help, if you have questions, if you just want to talk over what life is like, give me a call, schedule a meet so that we can get to know each other, and so that I can help you make your next aligned move. And make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell, because there's going to be many more videos showing you exactly what life is like here in Colorado, teaching you, educating you, and sharing with you experiences that so that you can do the same thing, so that you can live an incredible life, so that you can enjoy Colorado's beauty, and so that you can do it the right way with as little stress and as much joy as possible. So it was so nice sharing with you guys, and I hope to continue this journey with you. And welcome to Colorado. It's a beautiful state, and I can't wait to help you.